Hey guys, it's me, Jack, and here's that Q&A video I promised for you. I'm sorry that I look a little rough around the edges right now. I just drove back down to college. I'm in my dorm room. Obviously, it's different than the setting you've seen. So this is the setting you're gonna see from now on, but I'm probably gonna do a voiceover. You'll get used to it. It's always a little cluttered in here because it is a dorm room. Before I start the Q&A, just thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. I'm gonna go on a little tangent at the end of the video because this really means a lot to me, but for right now, I want to get into the questions because that's what you're here for. But thank you again for 10,000. If I could create a maxi or mini challenge, what would it be and why? I think that I would like the queens to do like an open heart surgery challenge. I think that's really up their alley, and I think they could really excel at that. If not that, maybe fight like a fire, like go into a burning building and fight a fire. They could get like a firefighters to help them like train for the day, and then send them in there. I think a big issue with Drag Race when they try to come up with new challenges is that they don't really pertain to drag queens and what they do. Like the issue with the cheerleading and Olympics challenges were that they weren't things that like every average drag queen can do. And I know they had trainers in there, but you're not signing up for Drag Race to become a cheerleader. You're signing up to become a superstar in the field that you're already like talented in. So like making them cheer was like really odd. And then the Olympics floor routine was a little better because it's more performance oriented, but even then that was still like rough on the girls. So I would avoid doing something like very physical for like creating a challenge. Maybe something, it's just really tough to make a new challenge that isn't kind of overlapping with another one. I think that maybe them making like a like they do like the marketing thing each and every year now, which is great, and I think that queens need to be able to brand and market themselves. If they can do something like that in the realm of a social media thing, I think that'd be really cool. Like marketing themselves on social media, but like with a twist, like the kind of like the Tap That App thing in season 10, but make it a less scripted like they did, and more like about the queens. And it would promote their social media, which is like a big way that they start to gain a following, obviously, and like get their bookings and everything. So it would just kind of push, like feed back into the queens and where their success is going to come from after the show. So I think a branding social media challenge would be really great to see. What's the first season I watched and what's the first season I watched live? The first season I watched was season 4. I saw Willem online. There's another question on here that's like, how did I get into Drag Race? So I saw Willem on YouTube and I was like, oh, this person's really interesting and they're a drag queen. Like, I want to learn more about them. And then I found out that she was on season 4. And then I was like, oh, cool. What is the show? And then from there, it just kind of spiraled out of control. And then the first season I watched live was season 11. I've been watching since, consistently since probably season 7 or 8. But I never really like kept up with a season up until season 11. And that was like a rough season to go in on, just because there were so many queens, and like not being an ultimate like fan yet and being able to like memorize queens really quickly, it was just like a lot to take in. But yeah, season 4 was the first one I watched, and I think it's a very, very good starter season for that, or just for people who are trying to get into the show. I used to always go on like little Drag Race phases, like how like you watch a show and then like a couple months later you watch a clip on YouTube of the show and then it starts recommending you, and then you kind of fall down that hole again. That would happen like for maybe when did I start watching, like 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade, I can't remember. 5th or 6th grade, and I would just like watch clips, and then they would slowly start to like get recommended to me more and then less, and then I would just kind of forget about it and then watch another clip, and then the videos would get recommended to me again like maybe a year or 2 later. And then around freshman year, I just like never got out of the recommendations because I just started to like thoroughly enjoy the show. So yeah, it stopped becoming like a little hole I would fall down and just became my entire obsession. What's one of the most rigged moments of the franchise? Speaking of season 11, I think that Sugarcane's elimination was so rigged. I think she was definitely the last like player that they didn't really see making it any further, but they did not have a valid excuse for eliminating her whatsoever. Outside of her runway was like not the best, but you had 4 girls performing way worse than her. like Akira not even wearing a caftan. Like, love Akira, but like that wasn't like the whole, that wasn't the challenge, or that wasn't the runway theme. And then like who was in the bottom with her? It was Vanjie, I guess. Yeah, but like just all four of the girls on the other team performed worse, but Suga was not seen as, you know, a top pick, so they put her in the bottom and then just eliminated her because they wanted her gone. Like that was really rigged. Who had the worst edit of the franchise? Immediately, I don't know why I'm talking about season 11 so much, but I think Silky had a really bad edit, and I think Raja had a really bad edit. I could make a whole video on season 11, which I'm planning on doing at some point, but like for right now, I think that Raja was very in the right a lot of the time, calling out production on the whole Plastique stuff. Like, it's great seeing Plastique like get the attention because, you know, I Plastique was obviously struggling, but when it was like 4 things in 1 week, and she got all of like the chance like encounters. Like, oh, the choreographer just happened to be Alyssa Edwards. She got the workroom talk with Rue, and Rue gave her a hug, and then like she got the video message, and lo and behold, it's for Plastique from her boyfriend. Like, Raja was right to call that out because it was obvious they were really trying to push Plastique just for, I don't know if they were pushing her for the whole season or just for that episode, but like, you know, it really seemed like an Emmy episode or Emmy like storyline that they were pushing, and then Raja kind of stepped in and ruined it, and like they just like turned everything so negative on her. And the same with Silky. Silky's personality in season 11 was a little rough around the edges when it came to knowing where it was her time to shine and where she could kind of step back and let other people shine. But with Silky, she knows how to be entertaining, and maybe she doesn't know how to go about it when it comes to like TV and like that space. At least for season 11 she didn't, but like she is very self-aware and she is very like quick with her humor, so they could have easily spun that a positive way, but like they didn't. And then like the girls just continued to get more and more pissed at her, and we just ended up with that edit, and it was really rough. And then another one that comes to mind is Latrice on All Stars 4, you know, coming back as an OG, one of like the producer's favorite, and then kind of giving her this like really shady edit where like every single line that she says is met with like you know, like the metal noises or like the rattlesnakes, stuff like that. When like, again, all of her like criticisms, though they're very like 50-50, could go either way, they were valid, and she was valid in her opinions and her feelings, but they every time edited it like she was delusional when she really wasn't. She was just feeling her type of way because the competition is rough, but they made it seem so much worse than it actually was. Favorite lip sync? I hate to be a very broken record. It's so emotional with Shay and Sasha, only because I am a big theater person. I did theater for like most of high school, and you know, seeing that performance art right there, and like knowing like the feeling of getting like a standing ovation for like something that you do, like that is amazing. And so when you have like a, you know, like with theater, it's scripted, and like you're getting a standing ovation for basically like something else that someone scripted, unless you like put a spin on it, which is kind of the same for a lip sync, where, you know, it's great, and like, you know, you're lip syncing to someone else's song and like embodying what they do and like what they're giving you. But then when you put a spin on it, like what Sasha did, and people like eat it up, that is like the best feeling in the world, you know? So, and it just tells a story, it's art, and that this is the art that Sasha Velour was talking about, and God, it's so beautiful. Favorite archetype of queen? That it's a broad like question when it comes to like, you know, I could be like, oh, confessional queens are my favorite, but like that's very, I think they mean more like casting wise and like that type of thing. I like the kooky queens, I guess, like whatever they want to like categorize themselves as, like the Crystal Methods. I love Crystal, or the very professional comedy queens, like the queens who have it together but are like the host type, who are like hilarious, like Bob the Drag Queen or like Monet, people like that who have like that charisma that makes them like a host, but are also just so fucking funny. So I think those are my favorite archetypes of queens. Favorite Drag Race franchise, I have to go with All Stars. All Stars, so much bullshit happens, and you know, it really sucks to watch when you see these queens get eliminated, but like, then again, it's like you care about these queens and you see them come back, and like, so like a very long-term fan of Drag Race like myself, watching these queens walk back into the workroom, it's like the amount of serotonin that I get from just like seeing these people on the TV screen again. Oh my god, it just puts a smile on my face, and seeing what they have to offer. Like, the start of every All-Star season is so great because you see all these people who you fell in love with, and you get to fall in love with them again. And then, like, you know, All-Stars bullshit happens, and like it just gets kind of rough from there. But I still like appreciate All-Stars for just like how much it knows it's the moment. You know what I mean? And yeah, I can't pick anything else other than All Stars. What do I think of other drag shows like Dragula or the spin-offs with some of the other queens? I haven't watched them, unfortunately. I want to. I really do. I just haven't had the time with just everything going on. And when I get into a show, I really get into it, like with Drag Race, obviously. So if I were to like sit down and watch Dragula, it would have to be like, I have to like mentally commit to it for a while. But like what I've seen from the show, like recently with season 4, I've watched like clips and all that, like with Sigourney and Coco Kane and all that. Like they seem great. So I would love to like get into it, but I haven't yet. As for like the shows outside of like competition shows, I have watched a little bit of We're Here. I love it. I haven't seen the one on TLC with Alexis Michelle. Is Peppermint on that one? I can't remember. No, Peppermint's on Call Me Mother. I can't remember who's on that one. I haven't seen a lot of those spin-offs. I mainly stick to Drag Race only because I don't watch a lot of TV. I just consume like YouTube and TikTok a lot. I'm very Gen Z. I don't watch a lot of TV unless it's Drag Race or God, it's literally just Drag Race at this point, or like I put something on in the background that I've already watched 1,000 times, you know what I mean? But I will eventually get into them. Would I ever do drag? And if so, who are my inspirations? And also I'm gonna group it in with another question of what is my drag name? I would definitely do drag. The only issue is I don't have great fashion taste. I can't sew. I'm not very coordinated. So like, what am I gonna do? Like, the thing is, I can really play up a performance. Like, I'm a theater person. I can like lip sync to a song and act it really well. But like, I'm not gonna be the dancing diva of Southern California. Like no. I would love to do drag as like a content creator because, you know, that's where my talents are lying right now. So I might do that at some point. But it's like, it's a commitment, and I love the art form of drag, and I appreciate it when others do it, and I want to do it too. But like, there's just things that hold me back from doing it that I can't really put into words. It's just like having like a vision of yourself in your head and like what you want to be, especially like when you're transforming and like being a different character, and then like it doesn't come to fruition. It's really frustrating for me. Like I'm obviously everyone's their worst critic, but like it's really bad in my brain when it comes to that stuff. So like, you know, I've tried to do makeup before, I've tried to do all this, and then when it doesn't come out like the way that I intend it to, I get frustrated. And then when I'm not like feeling the motivation, I don't want to do it, and then like I can't improve. And I know that like with makeup especially, you have to like keep doing it and keep improving, but like when I just get frustrated, it like kills my motivation to do things. So that's like why I haven't really committed to doing drag yet, but eventually it's going to get there and I'm going to do it. My inspirations, like I want to like sit here and say like the fashion queens would be my inspirations, but like I would definitely say like more campy queens, but like campy with a twist where it's very like chic still, very fashionable. I'm trying to think of like a queen that embodies that. I guess like a Crystal Method, who can make like a lot of these things work that maybe shouldn't work as well, but like they just do because like she makes them work. So someone like that, maybe like a mixture of Crystal Method and Naomi. Like I think Naomi is great at highlighting her amazing features, obviously her legs, and like having that reference knowledge and that polish. So if I could find a feature to highlight about myself, I would do it, and I would make it camp, I guess. As for my drag name, I have a list. They're not very good, but the one that I always go to, it's not even like, it's so stupid because it doesn't make sense unless I explain it to people, but like once I do, people like it. So it's Inya Arya. Okay, so you know how on adult websites there are the ads that are that say like there's a hot single in your area. That's how I would be introduced on the runway or entering the workroom with my entrance line. I'd be like, you're like, a hot single has, okay, I'm messing this up. A hot single has entered, pause, Inya Aria. So it's like, you know, a hot single, I can't even, it makes sense, I hope. Best guest judges on Drag Race is a really good question. I think Lizzo was just really great on the show. Alicia Keys too was great. I'm not the biggest, I love Nikki for her songs. I know she's very controversial right now, but I thought she was a great guest judge. I thought Cecily Strong was really great back in All Stars 4. I think that she gave the queens great advice. Oh, and then the next season, she's on 30 Rock. I can't remember her name, but she just brought like a very like warm presence to the show with the All Stars 5 comedy challenge or whatever the top 4 was. Whoopi was really great too. I think that Whoopi, I'm just going over like the queens or the judges who like critique or like run through with the queens, and I guess it's just all the comedy challenges because Whoopi was really, really fun too when she was running it over with the girls before they were going to do their show. This one is very controversial, but I really liked Joel McHale on the show. He brought like, obviously he brought like a very like heterosexual vibe to the show, and very like loud and abrasive, but like that's like what I want to see. I want to see these like straight guys appreciate drag and like normalize it and just like enjoy what they're doing, because like, you know, there's some guest judges on the show that have no idea what they're doing there, especially like in the earlier seasons. But then like when Joel McHale comes on and he's like cheering and like screaming, like obviously, you know, some people are gonna find it annoying. Michelle found it really annoying, but like it's him embracing drag in a way that he can really enjoy it, but that's not disrespectful to like the girls, because he's fully in love with them, fully like enjoying what they have to do, but he's doing it in his, you know, heterosexual way. And you know, I've a lot of my friends are straight guys, so seeing like a straight guy on a show really embrace it and like love it, that's like what I would love to see my guy friends do, and they would do that if I ever like showed them drag. But I just, you know, I keep it to myself because it's, I don't want them to get sucked into the wormhole, if that makes sense. If I were to go on Drag Race, what challenge would I like doing the most? First of all, I don't know if I would ever go on Drag Race because I don't think I would do very well, but you know, maybe down the line when I start doing drag, and I kind of realize who I am, it might be better. But what challenge would I love to do? The branding or marketing or acting challenges, obviously. I think those challenges are very up my alley. I very much know who I am. I might not know my drag character yet, but like I'm very quick to like figure out like, okay, this is what works, this is what doesn't. So like a branding challenge like that would be really fun to do. And then the acting challenges, you know, you just have to overact, but like in a way that has peaks and valleys. And I think I could do that really well. So I would succeed there. Maybe Snatch Game, but like you just have to pick a good character for that. That wasn't a question, but I'll answer it. Snatch Game character that I would do with Cornbread on the season got me thinking about Brandon Rogers. I would do Brandon Rogers' mom character. I think there's a lot of funny jokes with that, but if that is too obscure, like, I mean, they let Jakes do Little Edie, no one knew who that was, so like, I feel like they would let me do the mom character. Favorite runway category. I could give the cop-out answer and just say best drag, because I like the girls dressing in the favorite garments that they have, but that's kind of a cop-out answer. So I thought that the Canada's Drag Race runway Dungeons and Drag Queens was really cool. You know, being that fantasy type, that was great. Also the circus category was really cool too. I think that the girls on Canada's Drag Race 2 just kind of turned it out with the runways like completely, especially with queens like Pythia. They were amazing. I also really like the concept of All Star 6 with the Oops, I Did It Again. I think that's just broad enough to have like a lot of fun concepts, but not like too broad where it's like, okay, what are we doing? Like Raja's look on that, oh my god, she looks, that wig on her and like just the way she presented it was so good. If I could choose the lip sync song, what would it be? obvious My by Troye Sivan. The fact that they didn't do that on Down Under when he was a guest judge, or was he a guest judge? No, he just like phoned in, and he was a guest judge on 11. Why do I keep mentioning 11? He was a guest judge on season 11. So the fact that they didn't do My, the ultimate like fucking gay anthem, like that is a drag song, and like they did Uptown Funk before they did My, like come on, like that is so, if you haven't listened to it, there's drops, there's slow central moments, but then it like picks up. It is just like such a perfect song for Drag Race, but they haven't done it yet. Because I mentioned I'm a fan of Palladium, are there other reality competition shows that I watch? Yes. I haven't seen a lot, or I've seen like a good portion of Big Brother. I like consuming like the content of Big Brother online because it's like condensed. And like I watched like a couple seasons all the way through of Big Brother. I loved season 20, season 6. And I just love the concept of Big Brother so much. And I really think I could go on there and win. Like fully confident that I can win the show. I'm going to be honest. I think I can. Okay, so here's my plan. I'm going to go on Big Brother when I turn 21 because I think that I still need to take the time to like polish my drag and all that. And then I'll win. And then I'll come on Drag Race, and my entry line will be like pertaining to Big Brother, or like the $500,000 or $750,000. Now that they bumped it up, I'll be like, something like $750,000 was nice. Like, what's $100,000 more? Something like that. Something stupid or overly confident. So I would definitely go on Big Brother first, win, and then go on Drag Race and win again. Be the ultimate reality TV like competition star. This is an interesting question. Do I think the lack of research can lead to the cancellation of the show in the future? Depends, because we saw with Sherry, it was very they dodged a bullet because A, they still had enough content outside of Sherry to make a full season. B, the queens on the season were just magically, miraculously were the best queens the best overall like casting we saw in like a very long time. And C, I don't have a C, so I don't know why I kept going with that. I think that it's possible. Obviously, we saw that it's very possible for them to edit a top 4 queen out of the show and still have like a very coherent season. So unless like 2 top 4 queens suddenly get canceled for some reason and have to like seriously be edited out of the show, I don't think that they would cancel a full season. And I don't think they're ever gonna make that mistake again where they hold such a narrative focus on one queen to the point where like it feels lacking in some areas. Like obviously they still have like their queens who like ask the questions, like Cornbread on the season, not comparing her to Sherry in any way other than the fact that she knows TV and she knows how to get her moments in. But I still don't see them completely relying on Cornbread like they probably did on Sherry. So we still get like a good balance of everything. So I don't think that we're ever gonna get to the point again where we're like panicking because a queen got canceled and we have to edit them out, and that might like completely kill the season, if all of that word jumble made sense. Do I consume drag content outside of the show? Yes and no. They were talking about like live stuff. I haven't gone to very many live drag shows, only because before, when I turned 18, it was still COVID. Like I didn't have like a car to like go to these things. Like I shared cars with my family, but like I can't just be like, all right guys, bye, see you like later, I'm gonna go to this drag show. I could, but like I just, being courteous, once COVID starts to like die down and people hopefully either we get to some form of herd immunity, I don't want to get into this, or people get boosted if you haven't. It's so worth it. Please get boosted. I'm definitely gonna go to so many more drag shows. I'm very talk the talk, but I need to walk the walk more. I am fully acknowledging that I need to walk the walk more, if that makes sense. I love drag so much. I love it on TV. I need to be a better fan of drag in general and not just Drag Race. I am fully like in support of everything, and I'm very like upfront about like everyone can do drag. All drag is valid, all that stuff, but I still need to be out there supporting people and supporting like drag culture in general more outside of Drag Race. And I don't think that I don't, but like I think a lot of Drag Race fans love Drag Race, but don't love like their local drag queens or just like more types of drag. So I want to be at the forefront of that and be like a spokesperson, especially online, because my presence is growing. I want to be a spokesperson for the local queens, the drag kings, like the non-gender conforming like performers who are doing drag. It's like there is so much more drag than just what's shown on Drag Race, and I want to help bring that to everyone and share that with like the whole world, because all drag is just so amazing, you know what I mean? So I haven't gone to a lot of live shows, but I'm going to once COVID dies down, and I can just go support my lovely queens that are in this area. And also I'm very close to LA right now, so catch me at DragCon, catch me at like bars down there. It's gonna be a big like culture shock because I've never like been to a gay bar or anything, or a gay club. I'll get into that later, but yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to consume a lot more drag when the world is not in shambles. Favorite girl group song, two come to mind. Obviously UK Hun with the United King dolls. Like you cannot touch that. But also favorite like finale performance song, this is a hot take, I think You Wear It Well from Canada season 1 was so good. I please go listen to it again, and especially if you watch the season, like they are all like they are some of the best verses of the show. I love that song, and I think it's one of the best mixes because like there's a lot of filler and a lot of the other cast songs which make me like not want to listen to them, where it's like, you know, oh, it's like I guess the Christmas song that they did recently, like, you know, you have the three girls verses, you have Rue's chorus, and then they do the breakdown at the end, which is like cool to listen to maybe once or twice. But then the more you listen to it, it's like, okay, why is this here? This is just kind of filler. We don't need this. But You Wear It Well is concise. It's to the point where it's like, you know, chorus, verse, and then like a spin on the chorus, so you're not just hearing the same thing again. Another verse, and then like the bridge of the original Rue song, third verse, and then like the conclusion. Like it's just so well made, and oh my god, I can't I can gush about. I might do a full video on just that song, but I don't know if it would do well. Who are some of my favorite Drag Race content creators? I'm gonna do drag content creators and Drag Race content creators. Drag Race, I've talked to Yuki recently, U-Dot on YouTube. He is super sweet, super great. We very much have like a mutual like understanding of like, yeah, we get what we're doing. We vibe with each other's content, and I just think that he is very sweet. Top RPDR videos, that whole fiasco that happened with Butterface, like, oh my gosh, it was almost a month ago now. Like they have also been very sweet, just like, you know, commenting and stuff. I haven't really interacted with I think you pronounce it Busey that much, but Busey did comment and like gave me advice. I really like their content too. I love Bussy Queen. I would love to do a video with her in the future. Mira Mangle, again, love to do a video with her in the future. I think I could just sit alongside with her and Scarlett and just, you know, like have a little kiki. It would be so fun. There's just like so many great Drag Race content creators out there, and I really just appreciate that the community is like actually starting to form now, and I'm excited that I can be a part of it. And I've never been a part of like an online community before, so it's really fun to see. Just shout outs to all these people. You should go follow all of them, give them love. It's a really fun time, and especially when it's not about the drama, when it's about the show and appreciating the queens, that's when I vibe with it, and I think that's what we're getting a lot more now, so it's great. Go support these people. As for drag content creators, Shazi, guys, please go follow Shazi. I cannot even fathom how smart Shazi is when it comes to all of these advertising and branding themselves. Okay, so if you don't know, Shazi is, you've definitely seen Shazi before, because they are all over like all of these queens like social medias, because like the queens love to repost like the videos that they see on Instagram or like on TikTok. They love to like it and stuff, and then it's just this positive feedback loop of Shazi getting a like from a queen and then making a video about them, and then the queen likes it, and then they repost it on their story, and then Shazi gets more attention. It's just so smart, and Shazi is so funny. I've had conversations with them before. They are so sweet. They are a great performer. Please go follow them. They're just, I'm so excited to see what they have to do, because I'm guessing they're going to be very big very soon. I'm so sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. I think Angel, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I've had conversations with her too, and they are great. She is so sweet. She makes content on TikTok and Instagram. Go follow her too. She's very, very sweet. And I am excited to see more from her too, because I think especially on TikTok, she just has like all these like random little reference ideas in her head and all these jokes that are just so funny. So go follow her too. They're both absolutely amazing content creators. Who are my top 3 favorite queens? That's literally like impossible to do, but like I get like the person commented and said that it's a very telltale sign, and I think so too. Bob, for sure. I think Naomi, especially like more recently as Naomi just has grown, definitely. So Bob, Naomi, and Cornbread. And it's not even what Cornbread has done on the show. I literally like I've talked about Cornbread so much already. I need to stop, but I just like appreciate Cornbread for everything that she's done before, and like I love her to death. Like even if she wasn't on the show, she would be up there for like one of my favorite queens. But now that she is, it's just like even more reason to like give her a top 3 spot. Naomi, just like quintessential fashion girl, so great. Oh, I can't even begin to like tell you how much I love Naomi. And Bob is funny. Bob is just everything that I would want in like a drag mom. So Bob, you want to be my drag mom, that'd be great. And now into the more personal questions, or more questions about myself. What hobbies do I have outside of Drag Race? I mean, in general, I love video editing. Obviously, like I make videos, that's what I do. I play a ton of video games. I play Smash, I play Valorant, I play Pokemon, I play League of Legends, I'm sorry. Minecraft. I'm a big PC gamer. I love Twitch. I want to stream in the future, so if you guys would be interested, I'm definitely going to start streaming. What else? I did theater in high school. I'm doing some form of theater in college, but it's like kind of tough to do a lot when, you know, you're trying to balance out so many different things. But that's a really good segue into this next question. Do I like Pokemon? I can name every single Pokemon by their outline. Like I like, give me a silhouette of a Pokemon, I can name it. Those are my 2 obsessions, Pokemon and Drag Race. Yeah, no, it's almost a problem how quickly I can name any Pokemon that you put in front of me, but I can, and it's my hidden talent. It's my party trick. No one's asked me to do it. I don't think people should ask me to do it, but it's something I can do. Pokemon literally has taken up my entire life. I've loved it since preschool. I have played the Pokemon trading card game competitively before, and I want to again once like events are up and running. I cannot even tell you how much I love Pokemon. I have my Pokemon cards right here. Like this gigantic binder of just like cards and cards and cards. Like I can make a whole video on like the history of my time in competitive Pokemon and how interesting the community is. I want to in the future, but like Drag Race is like the main form of my content, and I want to branch out for sure, but we'll get there when we get there, you know? Where am I from? I am from Northern California, and the unfortunate red area, the conservative area of California. So that hasn't been great growing up. There definitely, I mean, it is California, so it was like a 50-50 of like liberals and conservatives in the area. So I was fine, but you know, to be in California, there were definitely parts that could have been better growing up when it came to like the politics, especially since like 2016 and the whole man in office. God, but it was 30 minutes away from SAC. That's what I say to everyone, because no one knows where it is, and I don't want to say where it is because that's a little bit of, you know, I want a little realm of like privacy, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was close to Sacramento, so I cannot tell you how excited I am to see both Deja and Lady Camden on this season. Like Lady Camden being from fucking Sacramento, like no one's from Sacramento. That's crazy. I'm so excited. And Fresno, even like a Fresno queen, and I love both of them. They've been great so far, so I'm so excited to see what they have to do representing NorCal. Ugh, I'm sorry that you have to represent NorCal. What's my major in college? As of right now, it is psychology. Again, like with the whole Big Brother thing, I'm a huge social, like people person. I can read people really well. I'm very intuitive with that type of stuff. So I wanted to turn that into my career basically. So that's where I'm at right now. How do I identify / label myself? If I do to an extent. I am, my pronouns are he, him. And I have never really had like a whole, I don't know, I've never really experimented with my presentation and like thought about like my gender identity when it comes to that stuff. I always just kind of known that I identify as he, him. As for sexuality, I mean, I used to say I was gay. I do with everyone, like when I like first like meet them. I know people say it's a spectrum, and I really agree with that. I think it's a spectrum. Like I can't completely rule out that I'll ever like fall in love with anyone. Like I'm very much more open to that, and I don't really love the label of gay, but I just don't like labels in general when it comes to that anymore. But like when it comes to introducing myself or like kind of breaking it down for someone who may not really understand the concept of just not having a label, I just say I'm gay because ultimately I am more attracted to guys, but that can change in the future. I've been attracted to anyone in like the way they present themselves, if that makes sense. So like there's no limits to who I'm attracted to, basically. And the last question, are you single? What do you think about that? There's no one here. I am single. I've been single my whole life. It's only because my standards are insanely high. I'm gonna be honest. I like to self-sabotage. I like to do that. I know I'm ready for a relationship and all that, but my standards are so incredibly high with people. I'm a psych major, so I can read people really well, and if it's not it, it's not it. And that's just kind of how it's been with a lot of the people I've talked to. It sounds like I have like a whole superiority complex. That's not true. I'm very open to talking to anyone, and I'm super welcoming, and I love to talk to people and meet new people. But like, you know, when it comes down to like a relationship, I really want to be very in it and very like, oh, this is the person that I really see myself with. I'm not gonna like jump in haphazardly and halfway and be like, oh, maybe this will work out in the future. I'm not really into them, but you know, maybe I'll like them better in the future. No, I want to go in knowing that I'm going to get like a really great relationship out of it. So that's why I just have like never been in a relationship. Also, again, being from NorCal, you can count the gay guys at your high school on one hand. It's like, it's tough to get in a relationship in that area. Well, with that out of the way, I think that's it. That's all the questions that I had up there. It's a lot. Obviously, like this video took up a lot of time. I really like to ramble, as you can tell. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this since 2014 when I had my first Minecraft channel. So now that I've actually like grown a platform and grown a following, I'm so happy, and like I cannot thank you guys enough for giving me this opportunity and like helping me grow. YouTube has been a dream of mine since 2014, I guess, or like even earlier when I've been watching YouTube since 2008. You know, I literally grew up on YouTube. So now maybe having the possibility of turning it to my job and like having these like great opportunities, I cannot tell you how grateful I am for you guys. And like there's like thought in the back of my mind that I'm not worthy, like why is this happening to me and all this stuff. But like if anyone has ever met with those thoughts in the future and it like kills your motivation or anything like that, just know you can always give back, and that's what I want to do. Like I went on that whole ramble in the beginning about like, you know, wanting to support drag artists and like be a positive like force, and I want to continue to do that because, you know, I've been given this platform, and I want to make sure I'm using it well, and I want to make sure that I can uplift other people and help them grow, because, you know, if it's their dream, I know what it's like for someone to have a dream of being a content creator, and if I can be that person to uplift them and make that their dream a reality too, I want to do that. So thank you guys just so much for I'm getting like choked up now. Thank you so much for all the support. It's just been so amazing that fuck. It just means so much to me that I have like the versatility and the freedom to do what I love, and the thought of like 2022 being like this amazing year where I can be and do what I want to do after years and years of trying. Like it's amazing, and I Thank you guys. I have said that too much, so I'm just gonna cut the video right here. Thank you.